There is absolutely zero doubt in my mind that Rachel Meghan Markle was a semi-expensive yacht girl, and she knows it.
Many of you have seen this picture already. You see that there's Meghan with her Cajuna hat.
Sarah Ferguson just said something that froze the entire royal world. What she revealed wasn't gossip, it was a nuclear bomb. The kind of statement that sends palace aides into emergency meetings and makes lawyers start drafting responses at midnight.
Everything was because of Fergie. Everything happened because of Fergie.
Fergie just admitted her role in the biggest royal deception of the decade. The Sussex fairy tale, it's all been a carefully constructed lie. The romantic story the world believed, the victim narrative Meghan's been selling, the idea that she was some innocent outsider who stumbled into royal life, all of it is crumbling. And what's coming next? Nobody's ready for it. Because if Fergie's talking now, imagine what else she's prepared to reveal. But to understand how deep this goes, you need to know who Meghan really was before the tiara. And it's nothing like the story she tells. Meghan's pre-royal life wasn't the struggling actress narrative she loves to sell. She moved through elite circles with precision, always networking, always climbing. This wasn't some wide-eyed hopeful waiting for her big break. This was a woman who understood that connections matter more than talent, and she was good at making connections. The yacht scene was where real power players gathered. Not the seedy stereotype tabloids paint, but exclusive floating parties where billionaires, celebrities, and yes, royals mixed freely. These weren't advertised events. You got invited. And once you were in that world, the opportunities were endless.
According to people, she got started her yachting days and she never stopped really. I don't think any of her boyfriends knew about it, but Meghan Markle was known as a hardcore yacht partying person, ready for anything, very pretentious.
This is where reputations got built and deals got made behind closed doors. Meghan understood the game better than most. She knew these connections were worth more than any acting role. A supporting part on a cable show might pay decent, but access to billionaires, access to powerful men who could open doors, that was priceless.
She'd been a deal or no deal girl. She was calling herself a model, and she was starring in a show Suits. She used to charge almost $30,000 per trip, which is why she was making good money. It wasn't on Suits, it was on her yachting trips.
The allegations aren't vague. Multiple sources claim she was charging serious money for these trips, almost $30,000 per appearance. That's not networking. That's a full-on business model. And her income, it wasn't coming from Suits. The show paid well, but not well enough to afford the designer clothes, the international travel, the lifestyle she was living. The math doesn't add up unless you factor in these yacht appearances.
She was a yacht girl. That's right. It's mentioned in the book. Meghan used to entertain as a yacht girl. Now, I'm not saying it's true. I'm not saying it happened. But I am saying Harry knows it.
The kind of networking that doesn't end up on LinkedIn, the kind that gets whispered about in certain circles but never openly discussed, because admitting you were part of that world comes with implications. And for years, Meghan's past stayed buried because nobody wanted to talk about it until Fergie started talking. But here's where the story gets dangerous, because Andrew was at these same parties, and we all know how Andrew's story ended. His downfall is well documented at this point. The Epstein connections, the disastrous interview, the complete exile from royal duties. Everyone knows that story. The man went from war hero to the monarchy's biggest liability in record time. But what nobody talked about was the other people in his orbit during those years. The hangers-on, the facilitators, the people who made his lifestyle possible. Marcus Anderson keeps appearing in photos, in timelines, in whispered conversations. He's the connector nobody wants to discuss publicly. The man who somehow bridges Soho House, the royals, and Meghan's world. His name comes up over and over again, but always quietly, always carefully. Because discussing Marcus Anderson means discussing how these worlds intersected, and that's dangerous territory. And here's where it gets wild.
And I wonder if Prince Andrew's going to come out and say, hey, Harry, I did your wife quite a few times on yachts before you got her.
Multiple sources claim Meghan was aiming for Andrew first. The woman who ended up with Harry was supposedly targeting the more controversial prince. Think about the strategy there. Andrew had fewer restrictions, less scrutiny, more freedom. He wasn't the heir or the spare with constant media attention. He was the prince who could do what he wanted when he wanted. Perfect for someone looking to climb without the suffocating royal protocols, until Fergie stepped in and changed the trajectory entirely.
Harry also knows Meghan was on Jeffrey Epstein's yacht with Prince Andrew.
The connection to Epstein's world isn't just speculation anymore. We're talking about yacht trips, shared circles, overlapping timelines, the kind of associations that destroy careers and reputations. And Harry allegedly knows about this, knows his wife was in those circles on those yachts with his uncle. Imagine living with that knowledge. Imagine the conversations that must happen behind closed doors.
This woman knows that she's in trouble with Fergie because she knows where Meghan Markle's bodies are buried. She knows that Meghan Markle has been yachting. And fact, they had friction because Meghan had originally set her sights on Prince Andrew, but she lucked out with the idiot Harry. Not in a million years did Meghan think that she was going to score Prince Harry. She thought she was going to score Andrew until Fergie put a stop to it.
The original plan wasn't Harry, it was Andrew. But when that door closed, the ambition didn't disappear. It just pivoted. Plan B became Plan A. And Fergie knew exactly what was happening the entire time. She watched Meghan shift targets, watched her redirect her energy toward Harry instead. She saw the calculation in real time. And the evidence, it's sitting in photos the palace prayed would never surface. When allegations move from whispers to photographic evidence, damage control becomes impossible. You can deny rumors, you can sue tabloids, you can issue statements through lawyers. But photos are permanent proof. And the photos that have surfaced, they're damning.
And we also have this. This is Karina Shuliak, Epstein's girlfriend.
And the only times she traveled and went anywhere was with him. And guess who's on the other end with her Panama hat?
Meghan in a Panama hat with Epstein's girlfriend. Same trip, same time frame, same circle. That's not coincidence, that's documentation. The woman in that photo is Karina, who only traveled with Epstein. She wasn't taking random vacations with strangers. She wasn't on some group tour. If you're in a photo with her, you're in that world. You're in the inner circle, the exclusive gatherings, the connections that normal people never get near. And it gets worse.
And here we have Andrew, with whom looks like Marcus Anderson. This is in 2001 when Meghan Markle would have allegedly been on third year or second year. Meghan Markle hardly spent any time at Northwestern University.
Marcus Anderson photographed with Andrew back in 2001, right when Meghan was supposedly focused on her studies at Northwestern. Except she apparently spent very little time there. People who attended school with her barely remember seeing her on campus. She was somewhere else, building a completely different kind of education, learning how to navigate elite circles, how to make the right connections, how to position herself for opportunities that had nothing to do with theater degrees. The timeline is starting to make a lot more sense now.
And I know what you're gonna say. Maybe it was just that one trip. No, there were quite a few trips. There's actually quite a lot of pictures about them, but of course they're not made public. But there's 2 pictures that leaked.
Multiple trips, multiple photos, and here's the kicker. These images have been sitting in someone's archive for years. They leaked but were never officially released. Someone's been holding on to these receipts, waiting for the right moment to deploy them. That's strategic. That's someone with patience and a plan. That's leverage being stored for maximum impact, which means there could be more photos we haven't seen yet, more evidence waiting in the wings, more bombshells ready to drop when the timing is perfect.
In my opinion, in my analysis, and my experience of decades, this kind of analysis, for me, is the real deal. If a photo such as this of Meghan Markle with Prince Andrew years ago surfaces, that will be quite an scandal.
If a clear photo of Meghan with Andrew ever surfaces, it's not just scandal. It's the complete annihilation of her credibility. Everything she's built, every narrative she's pushed, every carefully crafted interview about being an innocent actress who stumbled into royal life, it all collapses instantly. The Sussex brand, the victim narrative, the privacy crusade, none of it survives a photo like that. And with Fergie talking, every photo, every timeline, every connection is being re-examined with fresh eyes. People are looking at old images with new context, which raises the obvious question, why would Fergie expose this now? Sarah Ferguson has been humiliated, exiled, and clawed her way back into royal relevance more times than anyone can count. She knows how the game works. She knows when to stay silent and when to detonate a bomb.
Could be also happening that the royal family is saying, hey, if you put a book out about Meghan Markle and completely destroy everything and really tell the people how Meghan met Harry.
Some insiders believe the royal family themselves are behind this, that they want Meghan's past exposed but can't do it directly. So they're using Fergie as the weapon. If it backfires, the palace can distance themselves. If it works, Meghan's credibility is destroyed without the royals getting their hands dirty. Others think this is pure personal revenge. Fergie watched Meghan get embraced by the same institution that treated her like trash for decades. The bitterness must be overwhelming. There's also the Andrew factor. By linking Meghan to his world, Fergie dilutes Andrew's toxicity by implicating others. Whatever her motive, one thing is crystal clear. Fergie knows where all the bodies are buried and what she revealed about how Meghan really met Harry. That's the kill shot. The official story is cute. Meghan and Harry met through mutual friends, fell in love. The rest is history. Everyone bought it. The world ate up the romantic narrative of the prince and the actress, the modern fairy tale. The press loved it. The public believed it. Even the royal family sold it. But Fergie just torched that narrative completely.
Meghan Markle was introduced by Sarah Ferguson to Prince Harry.
She was the connection. Fergie introduced Meghan to Harry. Not some random mutual friend, not a chance encounter at a charity event or dinner party. Fergie orchestrated it. This means the royal family's most controversial figure in recent history, the woman who'd been shunned and mocked for decades, was directly responsible for bringing Meghan into the fold. That alone should have raised massive red flags. Why would Fergie be making this introduction? What did she know about Meghan that made her think this was a good match? But the story goes even deeper than that.
Meghan Markle was introduced through Marcus Anderson to Sarah Ferguson.
Marcus Anderson was the bridge. He connected Meghan to Fergie, and Fergie connected her to Harry. It's a chain of elite introductions, carefully constructed over time. Not a fairy tale romance that happened organically, but a calculated networking strategy that spanned years. Marcus to Fergie to Harry. Each connection deliberate, each introduction strategic, each step planned. This is how elite circles work. This is how ambitious people position themselves for maximum access. And here's the part that changes everything.
He said Miss Markle was a close companion to Prince Andrew.
Before Harry, Meghan was reportedly Andrew's close companion. Let that sink in. The future Duchess of Sussex was allegedly in Prince Andrew's inner circle before she ever met her husband. She was connected to the most toxic member of the royal family first. The timeline makes it clear this wasn't accidental overlap. This was direct connection, direct association, direct access to Andrew's world. The connections, the careful orchestration of it all, none of it was accidental. This wasn't a romantic meet cute where two people happened to cross paths. This was strategic social climbing through pre-existing connections in the most controversial corner of the royal family. Meghan didn't stumble into Harry's life. She was introduced through a network that included Andrew, Marcus Anderson, and Fergie. And Fergie facilitated the entire thing, knowing exactly who Meghan was and where she'd been. So if this is what Fergie's willing to say publicly, imagine what she knows privately. Imagine the conversations she's witnessed, the events she's attended, the secrets she's keeping. This might just be the beginning. Fergie just confirmed what conspiracy theorists have whispered for years. Meghan's entry into the royal family wasn't organic. It was calculated through existing connections to Andrew's world. The yacht allegations, the photos, the Marcus Anderson link, the timeline that doesn't add up. It's all coming together now. And Harry, he's married to someone whose entire pre-royal past is unraveling in real time. No amount of PR spin can erase photos. No amount of carefully worded statements can explain away these connections. The palace is in full panic mode because they know what's coming. More photos, more timelines, more witnesses who stayed quiet for years suddenly finding their voice. Fergie holds every card, and she's proven she's not afraid to play them. She survived her own scandals, her own exile, her own humiliation. She knows how this game ends. And right now, she's winning. But here's the real question. If Fergie knows this much and is willing to expose it publicly, what else is she still hiding? Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more royal drama.